Welcome back, Flipboard fam. This is your favorite coach, Coach Jeffrey, and I have another amazing guest here with me, Dr. Kara Stern. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Most definitely. So we are going to talk about absenteeism.
Yes.
Yes. So let's start about, let's let you introduce yourself to our listening audience, and then we'll get into it.
Okay, great. Hi. So nice to be speaking with all of you. My name is Kara. I have a long career as an educator. I was a high school ELA teacher. I was a middle school principal. I ran an education nonprofit for math and science teachers. I did a brief stint as a head of school at a private school, and now I work in ed tech. And my focus is on helping get kids connected and returning to school.
Yes. So since the pandemic, I'm going to speak specifically in the Houston area. There are 230,000 students who are missing in one way or another from schools. And specifically, like that has been a very serious problem with students coming to school and not staying in school, or not the entire school day, or just not being in school at all. How is your company working to kind of fix that for us administrators?
Well, this is the question, isn't it? And I will say that I am aware of the data from Houston, but it's not so different from the rest of the country. Right now, we're talking about in high schools, particularly 1 in 3 students are chronically absent, which means they're missing 10% or more of the school year. And once they're on that track of chronic absenteeism, their life outcomes are really plummeting.
Yes.
They're looking at not graduating, and without that high school diploma, they're looking at worse healthcare options, worse employment options, and and possible entry into the criminal justice system. So when we talk about fixing absenteeism, we're really talking about saving kids' lives.
Exactly.
So I don't see that there's anything more urgent that for all of us to be working on right now.
Yeah.
So what we do at my company is we focus on supporting the people who are doing the work in school. Our sort of philosophy is that for students to come to school, they need to feel as if they belong there. And the way they feel as if they belong there is as if all the systems are operating to help them feel known and cared for and welcome. So in other words, how many, do you know approximately in Houston, how many families are not English speakers?
Oh yeah, it can vary to, well, I can go to percentages. I could look at like certain school districts in certain areas. Like there's one school district has about 60,000, or excuse me, 60% of their parents are non-English speakers. And that used to mean Spanish, but now that can mean Urdu.
Right.
It could be
Vietnamese.
Vietnamese, Creole. So that America is very diverse, especially towards the South. It's a diverse country. And so we cannot ignore the fact that we have to educate children and that they have to be successful in the years coming up.
So for the systems to work so that all students feel as if they belong and if they are welcome, educators, counselors, leaders, everyone needs to be able to communicate with family members in their home language.
Yes.
And those family members need to be able to respond in their home language and have it auto-translated back to whatever language the teacher is speaking.
Yeah.
So that there can be a dialogue that needs to work no matter what kind of device you're using.
Right.
So that's one thing. Another thing is schools, districts, they're flooded with data. How do you put all that data to work for you? So one of the things that we do is we have an attendance management system that helps put all the data to work to really understand who's not coming to school, why they're not coming to school, and then what kind of positive caring interventions can be put into place to bring those kids back.
Wow, I love that. Okay, so what's the name of it?
It's called School Status.
School Status.
And so it's really an integrated sort of suite so that there is something to help with engaging with families, something to help with attendance management, something to help with like all of the kind of digital workflow and paperwork.
Yes.
That makes it so difficult for parents to participate. And then something that helps with teacher growth, because you really need all the systems to be cohesive so that when Marcus shows up to school, someone is there to say, "Hey, Marcus, I'm really glad you're here today."
Right. And welcome and to get them going. Okay. So where are y'all piloting these programs? Have you started using them in schools yet already?
Yeah, we're in like 50% of the schools in California. We're in a bunch of schools in Texas.
Oh, wow.
We have like different parts of the solutions are more popular in different parts of the country. But a lot of districts in New York are using the teacher growth tools. But California and Texas are really digging into that attendance solution.
So in the state of Texas, our school funding depends on how many students come to school. I'm not sure how many, what that works in other places, but that's a mainstay for us. And students enter into the criminal justice system after 10 days. After 10 missed times, we can file truancy on families. Sometimes it's needed. I mean, more so like it's parental. The parents are not bringing the students to school on time, or it could be that the students are in a traumatic situation where they have to work and provide for the family and do it like that. So how does your program address those needs?
So there are systemic issues in the U.S. that our program cannot fix. I wish that we could, right? Because those are the things that are causing the problem.
Yes.
But we can address the problems with more cohesive, more thoughtful, more caring systems.
Yeah.
And so that's how we help. Instead of an auto-generated truancy letter, it's better to have a system that is letting you know early on that a student is showing a pattern, to be able to reach out to that family in their home language to find out what is going on, and then to be able to work together to put something in place to solve the problem.
I love that.
It's got to be human. It has to be human, and it has to be loving, and the way I see it is, in my mind, the chronic absenteeism is kids voting with their feet.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. And if we're honest, the best teachers have the best attendance. If we're honest, this is really the truth.
Yeah, and I'm not here to criticize teachers. I think
most definitely.
I think that teachers are doing heroes work in very difficult circumstances. And the way to help them is to give them
the right
tools that actually make life easier.
Yeah. So your suite of tools, do teachers have access to this early access for students, or is it more administrative, or?
It depends on the tool. So for example, the Connect tool, which is about engagement, you can use your phone, you can use your desktop. It's not your private number. You have access to all of a student's data. So if you think about, I think about like when I started teaching, I had a physical plan book and a physical attendance book. I didn't know how kids were doing in every other class. And so even now that we've advanced beyond paper and pencil, it's still hard to get a complete picture of what's going on with a kid. We have, we synthesize the data so that you can see their attendance patterns, their tardy patterns, test score patterns, behavioral incidents, all of that kind of stuff.
Wow.
And that gives you a bigger picture. And then it also records all of your conversations with families so that you have, a backup of, no, this is what we agreed on last time. Here's where we said it. This is what our next steps are. Had a district in Virginia shared a video of a mom speaking in Spanish saying, in my job, I don't have a place where I can sit down and log on and find out something about my kid. And when they moved to this new system, I would get a text from the teacher on my phone. I could read it in Spanish. I could text back on the spot. And I've never felt more connected to what's going on at school as I do now. And so I just feel like that point of connection in a way that is easy, in the way that we all communicate. We're all texting all day long. I mean, I've got my phone next to me, my kids, my sister, my colleagues, everyone's texting all day long. So that's a natural way to be communicating with families. And that's what they prefer.
Yes. And I love that. I have a son. My son is over there, and if he misses school or blinks, like we get a text message. But the access of that, I think, is also in less marginalized communities. That's very important because those students' way out is to get an education.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
yes,
Absolutely. And I think that when you're talking about historically marginalized communities, you're talking about people who already who have already been given all the signs that they don't belong and aren't welcome.
yes,
So to put things in place that say like, no, we care about you. You matter.
right.
Your presence here matters
Right.
every day. And not just because we're ticking a box, but because we want you to have a better life.
I think that's work. That's amazing. So where can our listening audience find your product at, and what social media handles do y'all have?
So we're at schoolstatus.com, super easy. And we're on LinkedIn and we're on Facebook.
Okay.
And I think that's it.
That's it. All right. Dr. Stern, thank you for coming on the show. Really appreciate you. Yes, thank you.
I really care about this stuff, and I really appreciate the opportunity to talk about it.
Definitely. And so we will be in touch. We're at ISTE. And so, Flipboard fam, we're signing off, but it's just, school status. Okay. All you administrators, school status. If you don't have something, school status. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much.